Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? Hey, this is Gregory Wiles coming live to you from Houston, Texas, with his inspirational morning talk. For first time listeners, I'm on Tuesdays around this time in the morning, and I just drop some little nuggets, something inspirational to get you through the day, and something for so you can focus on something positive because there's so much stuff you're going to encounter negatively during this day. I just want to start off your day and give you something a little positive to focus on. But what I'm going to talk about today is the people who pondering a decision, who are trying to ponder to make a decision. I know a lot of people deciding which school they're going to go to, which job they're going to choose, which church, whatever it is. I know a lot of the kids right now get a lot of basketball scholarships offers, and they're deciding which school they're going to go to. You know, all these choices, and you don't know where to go and which one to choose because everything looks so good and so nice. So today, I want to just shed a little bit of light on that and, help some people with the decision making. I heard this story a few days ago. I was preparing for some stuff and I heard this story aside and I thought I would share it. It comes right in handy with today's, what we're going to do in today, talking about today. This a kid that graduated from high school with honors. He graduated with honors, did really well, and his father, as a graduation gift, gave him a old Volkswagen car. It's like about 60 years old car. That's dust. It was parked in the car for years. Didn't drive it in years. It's all dusty, and you give him that for his graduation. His son was like, "Man, I graduated with honors, and this would you give me an old 60-year-old car?" The father said, "Yes." He said, "Yes." He said, take it to the dealership up the road and see how much money they would give you for it. So he took it to the dealership, and the dealership said, I'll give you $3,000 for the car. He come back. He said, Dad, the dealership said they can give me $3,000 for the car. Dad said, okay. Take it to the pawn shop and see if how much the pawn shop can give for you. And he took it to the pawn shop, so you give him about $500 for it. It's an old 60-year-old car. What are you going to do with that? So then the father said, okay, just take it to the antique shop. Take it to the antique shop and see what they give you. So when you go to the antique shop now, and called his father excited. He said, Dad, they wouldn't let me leave here. They want to give me $100,000 on the spot for this car because they said it's a vintage car. There's not much of these around and they would just love to have it. They don't even want me to walk out of here without settling on an offer. And the father smiled. The father said, okay, that's the moral of the story right there. You go and find the people that appreciates you. So what you bring to the table is what they need because they're going to have people out there that appreciate you. You got all these choices. There's the dealership, the pawn shop, and now this antique shop. But you see, the antique shop know the value of a 60-year-old car, vintage car. The antique shop know the value of it. To the dealership, it was an old rusty car. To the pawn shop guys, just the old rusty stuff. They're going to take up space and what he can really do with this. But to the antique shop, they saw the value in a 60-year-old vintage car, and they know what they can do with that and have a gem on their hands. So the moral of the story, you choose people who appreciate you, who know your value, who can see the value that God put into you, who can see the value God put into you, right? It's just like Joshua 4:14. When Moses had died, Joshua was Moses' aide. When Moses had died, and Joshua was going to take over the promised land, the people didn't have the same respect for Joshua as what they had for Moses. So Joshua was a little concerned. So what God did, God saw this, and God said, the only way, he can be successful if these people have this respect and follow his command and everything. So I can just read Joshua 4:14, what God did. Joshua 4:14 said, on that day, the Lord magnified Joshua in the sight of all Israel, and they feared him as they feared Moses all the days of his life. Morris Hubbard, good morning, good morning. So you see what God do here for Joshua. These people you know, Moses is the big leader. He gone. Now this little guy Joshua, I don't know if God magnify him. Magnify means Joshua didn't change his clothes. Joshua didn't grow a longer beard. Nothing. But God caused them to see what he had put in Joshua, the leadership qualities Joshua had. God caused them to see Joshua differently. Good morning, Jillian. Good morning. God caused Joshua, them to see what he put in Joshua, right? And so this way, he magnify Joshua in the eyes. So they saw him as this big, bad warrior now, just like Moses, and they could respect him, right? So I'm saying the decisions you got to make, just like the young man, you go where you appreciate people who know the value that you bring, who can see what the value that God put into you, because we all got these special gifts he put into you. Hear what he told Jeremiah in Jeremiah 1:5. Jeremiah 1:5. Hear what he told Jeremiah. He said, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. So in all of us, we got that gift. He done set us apart before we were born. So now we just got to line ourselves up with the people that God can magnify us in front to see what he put in us. Good morning, Renita. Good morning. He got to line us up, because once our will is aligned with God's will, we cannot go wrong. That's confidence right there. That's where confidence comes from, because when we line up with his will, we cannot go wrong. So that little story there, guys, is a great, great, great little story that I think I can use in making my own decisions. I'm going to repeat it quickly before we close off. This guy had graduated with honors. His father, from high school, his father gave him an old 60-year-old Volkswagen, the Beetle with the engine at the back. Who grew up in the 60s, 70s know those old cars, right? And they give him that. And the guy was like, man, there's an old rusty car in drive. The father said, take it to the dealership. The dealership said, you give him $3,000. Father said, take it to the pawn shop. The pawn shop said, I can give you $500, because all they seen in front of them is an old, dusty car that's not even driving. But when the father told him to take it to the antique shop saw the value in a 60-year-old vintage car. There's only a few left around right now. The antique shop didn't even want him to walk out of there without offering $100,000. And if he had bargained for more, he'd have got more, because they know the value. So I'm saying you have value. We just have to line ourselves up with the people who know the value and see the value that God put in us, and just say, you know what, just with a little bit more work and a little bit more training, this person can be great. Right? So we got to line. So don't worry with the fancy facilities, and one institution might be more recognized than the next one, but you want to line yourself up with the people that see the value that you bring to them. And that's still a lot of kids. I see this happen in team sports a lot of time. The skill set that you have, a team, a lower level team, or not such a big prestigious team, might be needing your skill set. And a higher team, which is a highly ranked team, might have abundance of the skill set that you have. So if you go there, you got to be competing with 5-6 people. But the next team, which is a little lowly ranked, they need your skill set that you have. It's not. So if you go there, you can be a star rather than going to the big fancy team and have to be fighting and competing for some playing time and all that. So you go where you are appreciated, where people see the value that you bring, who know the value that you have, right, guys? So I'm going to leave that there, man. But thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for listening. And we'll talk again next week. Okay, bye.